welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy and this is the channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. Okay, to let you know where we're at, this is Coconut Rum Part 2. We've already started the coconut rum and we put the first layer of flavor in, which is going to be from the molasses and the brown sugar. Okay, so that's tasting fantastic. The fermentation is done. So what we got to do next is we are going to use a siphon to siphon what's in our fermentation bucket over into our still pot, and then we'll get ready to add the second layer of flavor. Okay, so you ain't gonna want to miss this. So let me get that done and we'll be back. Alright, so we got our rum wash into the still pot. One thing I want to do is degas the liquid. And just a good stir. It don't take you up much. Just want to knock the gases out of that liquid. Okay. Okay, so we're getting ready to add the second layer of flavor. Alright, and what we're going to do is I got 6 cans, and they are, what are they, 12-ounce cans? If I could read it. 13-ounce cans. We're going to add 6 of these cans of coconut milk to our still pot. I think that's going to add a lot of coconut flavor to it. I'm hoping so, and then we'll find out. Get the can in shape. Alright, here's can 1. I need to open up one. What I did is I added 5 cans. That stuff is a lot thicker than I thought it was. So give it a good stir. I want to make sure there ain't nothing laying down on the bottom. I don't want nothing to scorch. Alright. Okay, I did end up using all 6 cans of my coconut milk, and then I gave it a real good stir. I don't think anything will scorch in the bottom because it dissolved pretty good. So, put a little bit of heat underneath of it. I'm going to get my PWM switch hooked, both with my BMW switch hooked up, and start putting a little bit of electric in there. I want to heat her up slow. One thing I'm afraid of is maybe too much foam, and I could put some butter in there, but I think I'm going to just try it. I'm going to just bring her up slow while it's heating up, then I'm going to start stacking the still out. So, we'll be back. Just to give you a quick update where I'm at. I just finished stacking my still out, so I got my first piece of column here. I put 2 rolls of copper in that column, and I made sure that I could breathe through it, so it was very easy to breathe through, so I knew there ain't going to be a problem. Then I got a sight glass that, I just like a sight glass. Yeah, a lot of times you can see what's going on with it. And then, of course, another piece of column, and then my condenser hooked up. So I got a small propane fire under the still pot with a deflector plate. And then I got a small amount of electric going into the heating element. Just to try to heat her up, I want to bring her up slow. Don't get in a hurry. That is the best piece of advice I could give anybody when you get your stills heating up. Don't get in a hurry. Because that's when you're going to take a chance of scorching something. Once you scorch it, there ain't nothing you can do with it. Okay, so I've got her heating up. once something starts happening, I'll be back. So like I said before, we started heating our still pot. What do we want to look out for? Well, a lot of people say that still pot temperature it does not matter. Well, I kind of feel that it does, because that's what's going to tell us the closer to when something else is going to happen. If that still pot's 100 degrees, well, we got a little time to wait around. But if it's getting up near, say, 150, 160, well, we know something's getting ready to start to happen, so we can keep paying more attention. Okay, another thing I like to do is I like to feel the column. All right, I'm all the way down the bottom. It's not even warm. I mean, barely warm. It's just a little bit of warmth. But it's starting to warm up. Okay, my pot it's at 120 degrees. What I'm feeling here on the column is just temperature transferring from the pot coming up. It's nothing coming up the column yet. Well, maybe a little bit, because if you look here in the sight glass, I got a little bit of condensation going on there. So some stuff is starting to happen, but not quite yet. So that's why temperature does mean a lot, but you'll find out that experience means a lot too. If you talk to any old timer, they just know how to make shine and all that good stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that hint. Usually when I give a tip, it's because I've made that mistake. Like I said before, bring your temperature up slowly. Don't get in a rush. Well, that's because I've made that mistake, and I've scorched stuff, and it's terrible. So, if I can give you a tip for something not to do, I will give that to you. All right. So, we got a little bit of time yet. I mean, temperature coming up, like I said, it's 120, so it'll be a little while yet. Okay, there's the pot temperature, right? It's right around 150 degrees. Okay, and if we know our science, if you notice here in the sight glass, you see some condensation. It's a little bit of reflux coming down, very little. If you feel it's hot to touch down here, right about where the copper columns is, but copper rolls are. And then if you notice over here, you're just getting one or two drips, and it's very, very pungent. Okay, so that's some of the foreshots coming off right now. So what they will do is they will increase. But I'm just saying, it's just starting to happen. Okay? Just to give you a quick look, I ain't sure if you'll be able to see it, but see, the vapors are coming up and they're hitting this pipe up here, which is not quite warm, but you can see it coming back down the column. And then if you look over here, alright, she's dripping a little bit faster than I wanted, so I cut the heat back, so she'll calm down here in a second. Alright, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, yeah, you should be able to see it. I got a nice broken stream coming off my condenser. One thing you got, if you're using a diffuser plate and put a little heat under it, it will hold some heat. So it takes, once I killed the heat on the gas, and now I'm purely running off electric, after a few minutes you have to regulate the electric till you get a nice broken stream. That's what I like. I've collected 8 ounces. I'm probably go another ounce, and then I'm going to switch over to jars. Okay, so well, that's about 9 right there. Alright. Smells good. Ah, yes. Okay. So at this point in time, you forget about the temperature in the pot. Okay. My head temperature's right around 180, and that's going to change by the still. You'll find your sweet spot on your own still. This will stay 180 till I'm just about done. Then when I'm getting close to being done, it'll start creeping up. So I regulate everything by the drip. That's how I do it. Okay, so tastes good. Alright, so we're going to be here for a little while. We'll get our first jar here of our coconut rum. Alright. Okay, I'm just getting ready to finish up this run. My head temperature right about 200. Let's see what we got coming off here. We got, let's see, 35, about 75 proof. Okay, so let's see what it tastes like. Wow, that is good. So I'll probably collect probably this jar, then I'm going to be calling it a run. I'm pretty pleased with this. The taste, it's a good rum taste. Very good rum smell. I think I'm getting a hint of the coconut. Now our next step is where we're going to get the third layer of this coconut rum. And I think that's what's going to make the real big difference. And that will be the next video, part 3. So I still can't complain. I mean, I ended up with 1, 2, 3. I'll end up with almost 4 quarts of distillate, ranging from 160 down to what did I say? 30. 60, that's 75 proof. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me finish this up. So the next step is I will cover all these jars up with either coffee filters or pieces of paper towel, put the ring on it. Let them breathe out for till tomorrow. And then I've tasted them all. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep everything. And we'll get them all mixed together. Then I'll proof it down. Then we'll show you what the next flavor addition is. So this will be pretty interesting. I love coconut rum. There is nothing like coconut rum and pineapple juice. Ain't that a traditional drink? So, well, I guess there's only one last thing to say. Oh, and what I'll do too, let me finish up. What I will do after this, and I shut the still down and all that good stuff, I'll let it cool off until tomorrow because it's hotter than hell. And then I'm going to save a gallon of the dunder for the next batch of rum. We did, if you remember the first video of this, that's what we added it to the still pot. And I just think the flavor is fantastic. So, alright. So I will be back tomorrow. And then we'll start the next step. Okay? Last thing I got to say. Hey, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing. Cheers, everybody.